First and new this morning, it may look like your typical smartphone, but law enforcement says a new device helps them respond more quickly and efficiently to emergencies at large-scale events. Now, state police are trying out that new device at this year's fair. Already, they say it's priceless. News 13's Catherine Mazzone has that story.
It can happen in the blink of an eye. Your child goes missing in a sea of people.
Losing your child for a second to 5 minutes is terrifying.
Tracking him down at an event like the state fair may seem impossible until now.
We're able to snap a picture of that one, send it to every officer, and within 5 to 10 minutes, that child is located.
It's all thanks to a new tool called a cellular on wheels, or CAL for short.
No matter what may happen to, say, your Verizon, your T-Mobile sites, we will always have contact with each other. It's just our own LTE network that allows us to communicate with just whoever is on the network.
Like a regular cell phone, officers can send a text message with just a push of a button to everyone else who has a device.
That's the sound that happens when either an officer has either a lost child or information on something.
New Mexico State Police Lieutenant Jeff Ray says not only do the new gadgets help them better communicate, he says they also allow them to use their resources more efficiently.
We're able to see where our officers are on the grounds. This is our pedestrian gate where officers are out making sure the pedestrians cross safely.
With an eye on all of his officers, Ray says he's able to minimize response times.
I can see on the map behind me where my officer is, the closest officer, and send them to there. I don't have to scramble and start getting on the radio asking. If they do not know where that location is, I'm able to tag it on a map.
Lieutenant Ray says the devices make all the difference when it comes to not only public safety, but officer safety.
Just to have the line of communication amongst all law enforcement, you can't put a price on that. Even if the officer can't communicate, we know where that officer is. You can't put a price on that.
It's why state police plans on using the CALs at every large-scale event in New Mexico from here on out.
It's a lifesaver.
Catherine Mazzone, KRQE, News 13.
And by the way, those cows are in a trial period here in New Mexico as part of a federal plan to build out permanent public safety networks across the nation. That amounts to establishing towers like any commercial provider would have, Verizon, AT&T, except these would be strictly for law enforcement and emergency responders. The state's chief information officer, Daryl Ackley, says that New Mexico's been working on a public safety broadband for years. He says that New Mexico received a federal grant in 2011 to start the project, and now we're one of 5 states in the country receiving money from the feds for the project.
I think we saw as a state the need to move into this arena from a technology perspective ahead of the curve.
Ackley says a permanent version of the cell on wheels is expected to go up near the southern border in the coming years. News 13 asked him about cost once for these devices and the network once this federal grant has run out. He says the hope is that the cost is close to what emergency responders already pay to use their smartphones. Law enforcement, by the way, will carry the cows at Balloon Fiesta, too.